I got us started on YouTube so that we don't have to be concerned with that. Kote, I've never seen you as bright as you are today. I can actually see through the shoji screens.
Yeah, there is full evening sun from that direction, so
That's what it is. I never knew that you. Hi, Bruno. I never knew that your shoji screens were actually transparent.
I powered with a lot of light from the front against it so that you don't see just a black, don't know. So
Is there really a Kote if no one can see him? Ding. I think we're almost ready to begin. Maybe let's start, sitting for a couple of minutes, see if someone else pops in, and then we can start with the ceremony. Well, okay. We'll begin as usual with the incense offering. Kote is kind enough to be our Eno today, so he's going to chant us through the entire service. We've never done this dance together before, so this is going to be interesting. If we make mistakes, do forgive us. Thank you. Let me switch to the awkward camera now so you can see all of me. Well, in a second. There we go. Well, I was thinking of maybe finding a poem by Master Dogen or someone else to read, because obviously I would never give a Dharma talk. And then I decided to go to the source, which is the Brahmanet Sutra. Right before the Buddha gives the precepts to the Bodhisattvas. Just because I think this introduction is something to really think about or ponder as we do this ceremony. So I'm just going to read it quickly and then we move straight into our usual service. Can you all hear me well? Okay, good. The Buddha then said to the Bodhisattvas, "Twice a month I recite the precepts observed by all Buddhas. All Bodhisattvas, from those who have just developed the body-mind, to the Bodhisattvas of the 10 dwellings, the 10 practices, the 10 dedications, and the 10 grounds also recite them. Therefore, this precept light shines forth from my mouth. It does not arise without a cause. This light is neither blue, yellow, red, white, nor black. It is neither form nor thought. It is neither existent nor non-existent, neither cause nor effect. This precept light is precisely the original source of all Buddhas and all members of this great assembly. Therefore, all you disciples of the Buddha, should receive and observe, read, recite, and study these precepts with utmost attention. I think we did that before we took Jokai, so it's good that we do it again every month. Disciples of the Buddha, listen attentively. Whoever can understand and accept a Dharma master's words of transmission can receive the Bodhisattva precepts and be called foremost in purity. This is true whether, and this is important, the person is a king, a prince, an official, a monk, a nun, a god of the 18 Brahma heavens, a god of the 6 desire heavens, or a human, a eunuch, a libertine, a prostitute, a slave, or a member of the 8 divisions of divinities, a Vajra spirit, an animal, or even a transformation being. That's just something to ponder. It's the introduction from the Brahmanet Sutra. Now, the great precepts of Gautama Buddha were kept by all Buddhas. They were transmitted from Buddha to Buddha, and they were received by ancestor after ancestor. Our great master, Gautama Buddha, transmitted the precepts to Master Mahakashapa. Master Mahakashapa transmitted the precepts to Master Ananda, and the transmission of the precepts has continued in this way, passing from orthodox successor to orthodox successor in one line. Now we reaffirm our commitment to the precepts, to return the profound benevolence of Gautama Buddha. We trust this to be the true reception of Gautama Buddha's wisdom and life. Respectfully following the approval of Gautama Buddha, we would like to devote ourselves to the precepts, beginning with atoning for past misdeeds.
All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all.
For this part, which is invoking the presence of the Buddhas, you can do a prostration at the end of each line when the small bell rings. You can give a gasho, or you can do as your heart desires.
Homage to the 7 Buddhas of the past. Homage to Shakyamuni Buddha, a person of this earth. Homage to Miroku Buddha, symbol of hope for the future. Homage to Manju Bodhisattva, symbol of great wisdom. Homage to Fugen Bodhisattva, symbol of great activity. Homage to Kanzeon Bodhisattva, symbol of great compassion. Homage to the successive generations of ancestor bodhisattvas.
Well, this part is my favorite part because it's the water purification. So if you brought a little water, a leaf, we can use that to sprinkle it on ourselves. Traditionally, when the Fusatsu is done, the Ino is the one that receives the bowl from the preceptor, and he also sprinkles the four corners of the Buddha hall before the entire assembly is sprinkled. In our case, we're just going to sprinkle ourselves 3 times with the water, acknowledging all the times we've failed to keep the precepts fully, but mainly recommitting to doing better during the next whatever days until the next full moon when we do this again. In my case, I left the leaf, it was a little branch, you can't see it, but it was a little branch and I left it here from last month, and all the leaves died, but there's new leaves now. So I decided to use this because I thought it was absolutely wonderful. So we just take a little water if we have it. If we don't, just use our fingers. And we sprinkle ourselves. And with this, we're clean. All you disciples of the Buddha, join your palms in reverence and listen wholeheartedly. I would now like to articulate the preface to the great precepts of the Buddhas. If the members of the assembly will quietly listen, and they know that they have done wrong, they will atone. If they atone, then they will be at ease. If they do not repent, their wrongdoing will grow more grievous. Those who have done wrong are silent. And because of their silence, you should know that they are all purified. Worthy monks, laymen, laywomen, and all the rest, listen well. In this difficult age, when the lifetime of the Buddha sometimes seems distant, you should revere the Pratimoksha. The Pratimoksha is none other than these precepts. When you observe these precepts, it is like darkness meeting with light. It is like someone poor attaining a treasure. It is like someone who is ill being healed. It is like a prisoner being released from his chains. It is like a traveler who is able to return home. You should know that these rules are the great teacher for this assembly of people, no different from the presence of the Buddha in the world here and now. Thoughts of fear are difficult to produce. Unwholesome thoughts are difficult to give rise to. Therefore, a sutra says, do not trivialize minor misdeeds as if they're not problematic. Drops of water, although tiny, will gradually fill a large basin. A single instant of wrongdoing can lead you to fall into a hell of uninterrupted suffering. Once you lose your human body, you may not get another one for 10,000 kalpas. Just as a galloping horse, one's physical strength will not remain. The transience of human life goes beyond the mountains and seas. Even if something remains for the duration of one day, it will be quite difficult to hold on to it tomorrow. Members of the assembly should each energetically advance their own minds. Be careful not to be lazy, negligent, drowsy, or arbitrary. In the evening, you must gather your thoughts and focus them firmly on the three treasures. Don't take as being a waste of time the effort to deepen your repentance for those of later generations. Members of the assembly, each of you, in your own minds, should carefully rely on these precepts. Discipline yourselves in the practices that accord with the Buddha's teachings. And let us now be reminded and recommit to the precepts. So you can repeat out loud with me. Today, I reaffirm my commitment to seek as I can in this body and life, to avoid doing harm, to seek as I can in this body and life, to live in a helpful and helping way, doing good, to seek as I can in this body and life, to live for the benefit of all sentient beings, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from the killing of life, to seek as I can in this body and life, to live in generosity and refrain from taking that which is not given, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from misusing sexuality and all desire, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from false and malicious speech, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from intoxication in its many forms, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from unconstructively criticizing the errors and faults of others, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from praising oneself and judging others, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from stinginess in bestowing the Buddhist teachings and all precious things, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from all anger, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from disparaging the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. With this part as well, if you wish, at the end of each line, you could do a Dirgasho or a prostration.
I take refuge in Buddha, with the prayer that living beings may embody the great way and give rise to the highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma, with the prayer that living beings may enter deeply into the sutras, that ocean of wisdom. I take refuge in Sangha, with the prayer that living beings may ensure that the Great Assembly is entirely free from hindrances. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, To perceive reality, though reality is boundless. To attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless. To transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible. To perceive reality, though reality is boundless. To attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless. To transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible. To perceive reality, though reality is boundless. To attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable.
Abiding in this ephemeral world, may we exist in muddy water with purity like a lotus. Nothing escapes the boundless mind. Thus we bow to Buddha. Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reaffirming our commitments to the precepts, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha, Honored One, the historical Buddha and teacher, to the all-pervading and everlasting three treasures, to all arhats and bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, and their relations throughout the Dharma worlds. May we all realize and live the enlightened way together.
All Buddhas throughout space and time. All Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha Prajna Paramita.
Well, thank you very much. Let me switch to the regular camera here. Once again, another month. We did it. We've been doing this, what, for 2 years now? Every single month. I will hopefully see you all next month here. Not with a lot of things to atone for. Hopefully we do better. But I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate that you made the time to be here, whatever time it is where you are. And I'll see you around. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Dan Cote, thank you.
Thank you so much.